So, okay, good. Now if you could please tell the court what you saw. I saw bright red blood. The killer whale's ramming caused the victim to bleed. There was a great cloud of blood. What? Yeah, that's it. That's why I was so sure. That's when I knew that killer whale had killed a person for a second time. Well, that was a very compelling statement indeed. Look at this again. So, there does appear to be something that could be a cloud of blood. So her terror was a reaction to blood, was it? That would certainly explain what happened yesterday. Oh yeah, please take a look at this bloodstained coin. Cease and desist at once. What kind of man shows a lady blood? You doesn't have to get so worked up. It's only blood. I was badly injured during an interview once. Ever since then I've been terrified of blood. The very sight of it dreadfully upsets my delicate sensibilities. This is a bad turn. If Mr. Plume saw blood, then does that mean Ola really did attack the victim? It would appear that orcas are even more vicious than I am. So, how does it feel to be thoroughly rammed by your own cross-examination, right, Dono? What do we do now, boss? That testimony was not at all what I expected to hear. Wait a minute. There's still some discord left in Mr. Plume's heart. What? You mean there's more? Yes, but there's no telling what it is. It could be something even more damaging. Is there even anything left of our case to damage? Well, whatever it is, we'll have to face it head on. Athena, you believe in Ola, right? If so, there's no reason for us to shy away from the truth. Yeah, you're right. I know we can handle the truth, whatever it is, so let's delve a little deeper. You got it, boss. Okay! Part 2. What's the unexpected emotion? Oh, here we go. So there's cloud of blood. After it started headbutting, I saw that awful blood and was terrified. Right. Do you see any emotions that seem odd or out of place? Pay attention to not only which emotions you see, but how strong they are too. Right, okay. Killer whale started singing. I don't know if that's it. Is that shock? I think that would be shocking. But these are all the same. Saw that awful blood and was terrified. Maybe it's the fact she was only slightly sad at that? Huh? Her fear appears to be lessened here. Or appear to lessen here at that statement. Mr. Plume, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with blood coming out of him? Well, that's a very good question. I was shaken after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear. Disappear? Now why do you suppose that was? Simple. It was because of the pirate hat. After the killer whale put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared. Oh. And how exactly does that work? How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy. Wait a minute. From whom was this blood that Mr. Plume saw actually coming from? Orla. If it disappeared after she put on a thing. Consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim. I beg your pardon? What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? There was no one else in that pool besides the victim. I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an orca pool after all. What? Then where is the alleged injury on the defendant? I'm not sure. But if simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear, then the blood must have been coming from somewhere on Orla's head. What? The orca's head? What are you prattling on about now? Please think about it again, Mr. Bloom. Think back to what you really saw. That is... The one who was bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale. I remember now. There wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all. My god. Oh, I didn't realise I had to click. Sheesh. We did it. Analytical psychology got us what we needed from her. That was a huge help, Athena. It was also pretty dicey for a while, though. Well, this is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's. That's correct, and since there was no blood coming from the victim, there's only one thing we can conclude. That what Mr. Plume witnessed was not the moment of the murder, as she claims.
Objection!
What if the captain was killed and then thrown into the pool? To kind of stage a murder, essentially. Or pin the murder on Orla. I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a strong sword all along. Nevertheless, it's far too dull to cut to the bone. Meaning? I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, being rammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhaging is also a possibility. He has a point there. If you wish to challenge me to a duel, you'll need a sharper blade than that, right, Dono? I demand evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder. There must be something. Think, Phoenix. If I'm correct, then the victim's death occurred before the Plume saw it. If the victim was already dead when Orla started her headbutting, then that would mean he died sometime before Mr. Plume was watching her. The events Mr. Plume witnessed took place at around 10:10 AM. I must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 AM. What was the time on the footage? From 10 AM. 10:09. 10:10. So technically yes, it's a minute earlier. We've only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10. Which means there's still footage going further back that we need to check. Your Honor, I request that all of the security footage be played for the court. All of the footage? Mr. Plume witnessed a cloud of blood at around 10:10 AM, but I believe the victim was already dead by that time. So your assertion is that the murder took place before Mr. Plume arrived. Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10 AM when the aquarium opened. And I believe there is vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. You are quite the gambling man, right, Dono? Are you honestly willing to risk everything on those mere 10 minutes? I've bet on slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way... Whoa, whoa. My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat humble pie. Uh-oh. I can't back down now. Well, if the defense is that confident in its importance, Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage. Fulbright. Roger, I have the rest of the security footage right here. Very well. Please play it for the crowd. Please, please have something for me. This is what it looked like at 10:10 AM. Witness can be seen here. Alright, I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now. It's just going to be images. That's 10:09. And 6. It appears Mr. Plume hasn't arrived yet at this point. Now to see if I can find something from before this point in time. Oh dear. Nope. Shoot. Uh-oh. Is that it? Yep. That's all the footage there is. Well, Mr. Wright, did you see what you were looking for? We got nothing. Well, right don't know. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance? Did I see anything important? I better think about this carefully. In the footage, we see nothing important. We can see nothing of importance in that footage. Just as I thought. You're right about that. That section was completely meaningless. Doesn't show a thing, that's why I didn't submit it as evidence. No, it's just the opposite. Huh? What do you mean by that? In this 10 minutes of footage, yeah, something important that should be there isn't there. The body. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence. What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice? Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please. What is this important thing that you say should be in the footage but isn't? Photo of the body? Yeah, I would say the body. The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim himself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage. Oh! Yep. From, 1 minute... Basically, between 10:06 and 10:09, his body, or he was killed and put into the pool. That's right. If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there. Oh! Oh yeah, because he started to float up. So he was killed way before 10 AM. And put in there. It means that he must have been there by the Skull Rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long. Wait a minute. Are you saying... Wait. I've just realised something, I think. With the photos. What if, when he was killed, they took all of the coins that were in the bag, stuffed it into his outfit and put him in the pool? I don't know if that would have been enough to weigh him down. To pull him all the way to the bottom? Probably not, now that I think about it. But all of them were at the bottom of the pool as well, so... who knows? When the security cameras started up at 10 AM, the victim was already dead. What? Yeah! So, order in the court. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered? I don't know, Your Honour. But we now know it had to have been some time before 10 AM. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there is no one else who could have killed the victim. Not true. Not necessarily. The defence believes that the true culprit may have been human. We have evidence that backs up our theory as well. Do you know? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence. The defence's trump card. That thing we found during our investigation yesterday. I won't go so far to call it decisive, but... now's the time to play it. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please, submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human? Not my attorney's badge. It's because it's gold. The coin. A single coin? What's this? A coin? Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possibly the real murder weapon. This tiny little coin is the murder weapon? Mr. Wright, if this is another one of your bluffs... As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins altogether, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Did you have the blood analysed to see whose it is? Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So, to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool, and one of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honour, the defence proposes that the victim was killed beside the pool. The side of the pool? But if the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the orca did it. I realise you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins possibly be made to hit someone all at once? A bag? Be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature. So where is this bag the coins were in? Unfortunately, Your Honour, we have recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them. They took it? The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. Then they threw the body into the pool before the security cameras started up. And then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla. That was brilliant, Mr. Wright. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator. Yeah, somehow. Let's just hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything. The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Mr. Plume witness? That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim. Just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there still is that. Even with somebody even else as the culprit, all this behaviour still seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she was doing the same things she did a year ago. But are they really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same thing she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behaviour this time around. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla, then they would have needed to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place. So, Mr. Wright, as her lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions? I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honour. What kind of effect did Orla's actions have on the case? Very well. Then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's actions affect the case? They created a witness. Mr. Plume focused her attention on the orca pool because she heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness. Created a witness? Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intentions? After all, Mr. Plume witnessed two things. She saw Orca headbutt something over and over, and she saw Orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the Orca was attacking the victim. Are you saying that the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator? Oh my god. I actually theorised this and it might be the case. Exactly, and that would explain Orla's actions perfectly. But the defendant is an orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her? If the person knows the songs, or the whistles, commands. God, that's the right word. Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behaviour with this. Issuing instructions to Orla. There we go. Orla will have just assumed that it was part of the stage show. Or like, part of practice. Is this a whistle? Yes, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals. Now, that must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows. The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then when Mr. Plume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. Oh my god, I was actually on the money. Ha! What? And as for you, Mr. Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of witness. I, Norma de Plume, was set up. I, Norma de Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used. Is she gonna have a breakdown? No. Oh god. Ew. Mr. Plume, please do something about your attire. Ugh. That was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see. It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have that bloodstained coin analysed. You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss. If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in. In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the orca couldn't have done it. Exactly, Your Honour. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation. Of course. Ah, no. Overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. Uh-oh. Oh! Ah! Oh! Ah! Whoo! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable. And what did this man go in for? He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But Wright don't know him would be easier to hook than any fish. That hawk sure does love the judge's head. Wait. Oh, there's the bag! What's this? That coin from before and... some sort of bag? A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag for the 300 coins we're in. I believe you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And? Does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed. Oh, pardon me. As does the blood on the coin. I knew it. So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I am more than satisfied that it was. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins? I shall concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact it was the orca that killed the victim. What? How can you still suspect Orla? You said that the true culprit manipulated Orla's behaviour, but Orla isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Orla used the victim's behaviour against him to murder him. What? What? Are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Oh god, his eyes. He's like 100% suspicious. No, don't just stand there. State your name. Oh, is he going to start rapping? I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently Wright Donner won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I gotta talk, then let's get this over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackwell is going to have him testify about. So, could we have your name and occupation for the record, witness? Of course. New animal keeper. I knew. I had a feeling the judge's face was going to look like that, and it fits it perfectly. So, oh my. I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that... Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like? So close, Your Honor. So close. Yet so far. Flip-flop. Please proceed with your testimony, witness, without the flip-flop. Okay, fine. But I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out. Eh? He's actually holding a bucket. The man manipulating Orca. At about 10:10 AM I was in the staff room. False. I heard a loud noise from the pool room, so I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain or the Orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The Orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the Orca pool. Wait, so what's this? Also information about the area around the Orca pool. Alright, cool. The defendant made the stuff fall down. Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There is no doubt that it was the Orca that caused the mess. But could she really have done that from within the pool? As I said, the Orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our rhyming Marlin checked on the scene, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he? The jail gossip? So, how did 400 pounds of items fall all at once? I'll tell you how. The Orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. It was child's play to an Orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall. And the bag of coins that was among them, among the items, fell on the victim's head and killed him. The Orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Mr. Plume saw. But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes? The Orca sometimes makes a loud noise to summon her trainer. But I'm still a newbie, so I didn't have a security card. I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tried to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it. I see. So the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. His statement that the Orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the Orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the Orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the Orca is the only one who could have moved the items. I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it'd mean that Orla was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. Okay, we're cross-examining. So, the man manipulated Orca. About 10 AM, yeah, 10 AM, I was in the staff room, but you weren't. Oh, there we go. Because it says... Oh! I didn't even realise that's what the flub was. Yeah, he wasn't in the staff room, he was in the food prep room. Yeah, that didn't click. I thought it said... Oh! Oh wow! At 7 AM. Was the captain really dead for 3 hours?
Objection!
But yeah, that's all I had to do. You say you were in the staff room, but is that really true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Mr. Rhymes, have you ever seen this calendar before? Hey, that's... I see, you recognise it. Yeah, that's the rifle calendar. It's a big hit at the Shipshape Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for shopping at the Shipshape. Mr. Rhymes, please refrain from scattering fish around the witness stand. Not to worry, your baldness. Tucker will have them cleaned up in no time. I guess that bird comes in handy now and then. Alright, Mr. Wright. We have all seen your cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind... no, Your Honour. This isn't my calendar. It was originally the witness's, but it came into the possession of a certain young lady. What? Mr. Rhymes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. Oh god, she got fish in her hair too. Ew. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. They ran into each other at about 10 AM in the food prep room. So clearly, the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs. What's this? This is the first I'm hearing about any calendar. That's because Mr. Rhymes and Pearls were keeping it a secret. You lie to me? This transgression will not go unpunished. So, Mr. Rhymes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you? Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the alcohol room myself. But somebody told me about it. Who told you about it? It was, unless you tell the truth, Mr. Rhymes, I can't save Orla. And I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. I heard about it. From Sasha. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make sense. What is going on here? No, it's the trainer's own words that drive the orca into a corner. How do you like being bitten by your own client, right, Dono? Yeah, I certainly didn't see this coming. I don't trust this guy, though. What perfect timing! There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the orca. The prosecution calls the trainer Miss Sasha Buckler to the stand. Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the orca's trainer has to say. I don't know about what Sasha is going to say, but I'll just have to meet it head on, whatever it is. We'll take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned. Yay! Gives me a chance to have a break and end the session. Oh my. My throat hurts. From talking for nearly 3 hours. Also the fact I've not really been recording much recently. I blame Ocarina of Time Randomizer because it's too fucking addictive. And incredibly fun. Alright, save. Save. Ba-boom! Alright, so... can back out of this, I guess. Yeah, it's not gonna advance any further. Either way, that is gonna be the end of this session. Thanks so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.